Hello. Welcome to the Oasis Diner. I'm Minerva. I work here. I followed a man I loved and came over from England. I'd worked in a pub there, so a diner was kind of the same. Let me tell you about the Oasis. It's a cosy little diner in the middle of the cold, dark city. A world in itself.
2 cacklebirds on a raft. Wreck 'em.
I've been a waitress at the Oasis for 20 years. That's a long time. A lot of burgers and fries and hot apple pie. We have great apple pie. Some say it's the best in town.
Hot apple pie.
I work the night shift, 10 to 6. It can be quiet or crazy. You never know.
2 bow wows heavy on the Mississippi mud with the side of whistleberries.
The Oasis Diner and the people in it. That's what's on the menu tonight. Juicy stories. Dry humour. Tasty truths.
Dusty, 2 cups of Joe.
Let's start with the owner. With Dusty. Dusty worked here in summers as a teenager. He dreamed of being a baseball player. They say he was pretty good, even made a semi-pro team and played a while. He got the name Dusty because he was always sliding into the bases, getting dirty. But things didn't work out. He came back to work here. He traded the sizzle of a fastball for the sizzle of a burger on the grill. That was years ago. He ended up owning the place. I suppose he has some regrets. Thoughts of what might have been. We all do. Dusty has a lot on his mind these days. A lot of worries. His sister is very sick. He looks out for her and pays her bills. It's a strain on him. He doesn't make much money running this joint. Next up is Flo. She's Dusty's wife. She's seen it all and it looks like it. She's weary. She never wanted to own a diner. I mean, who does? But here she is all these years later, keeping the place running. Running a diner is tough. It's hard to make ends meet. One night, Dusty opened a letter he'd gotten. He had tears in his eyes as he read it. Whatever it said must have been quite a shock. Dusty wasn't the same the next day. And the day after that, he was in the hospital. His heart. I'll tell you more about that later. Back to some of the folks who work here. The Oasis has 2 cooks. Sal and Ben. Ben's quiet. He's very intent on his cooking. He takes pride in making a good omelette or burger. He works his spatula and grill like an artist. Sal's a good cook too. He's young. He doesn't want to stay here 30 years. He wants to own his own restaurant someday. A place where rich people eat rich food and pay a lot for it. It's a sound business plan. Soon as he saves enough to make it happen. Working here, that could take a while. There are 3 waitresses here. Holly, Jane and me. Jane has been here as long as Flo. She's weary too. It shows. She has a lived-in face. Young Holly comes and goes. Every new boyfriend is her doorway to a better life. Problem is, it's a revolving door. Sooner or later she's back here, poor kid. Maybe she should marry Sal and they could take over the diner someday. I've seen them talking. Maybe falling in love. You never know. So that's the staff. Oh, and me. I won't bore you with the details of my life-slinging hash. The Oasis is a typical diner. It's what folks expect and what makes them comfortable here. No matter where they are, diners offer a familiar look. Familiar food. Kind of a home away from home. Like home, not everything works as it should here. There's an ancient milkshake mixer that wobbles so much the shake splatters all over the place. Dusty doesn't like it, but hasn't replaced it. Maybe someday. The radio only gets one station, no matter how much we tune it. We get music or baseball games. Nothing else. It took me a long time to understand baseball, especially only hearing it on the radio. I mean, when I heard dugout, I thought they were talking about a canoe. Why would you have a canoe in a ball game? And when they said someone stole a base, I pictured someone running off with the damn thing. I won't tell you what came to mind when they talked about foul balls. I prefer cricket. It's much more civilised. So that's the staff and the place. What about our customers? Well, let's see who's here tonight. Some regulars. A few strangers. Like any diner, some folks just stop in here on their way through the city. Through life. At the Oasis, they can be alone in the company of others. There's something comforting in that.
Dusty, 2 cups of Joe.
People are mysteries. The Oasis is kind of a mystery too. You never know who will show up, what might happen. I watch the customers, what they're doing, who they're eating with, their expressions. Every night in our little diner theatre, it's a new play with different actors.
Another slice of pie for the fat man.
We're just down the street from the King Theatre, so we get lots of performers. They add colour to the place, though sometimes they make the Oasis seem like it's part of a very strange dream.
Bottom of the 6th, the home crowd's in a frenzy. Chuck Friedman digs in at the plate. 2 on.
For the
2
regulars,
out.
the diner offers both anonymity and community.
Here comes Ford's
We're a
first
family of
pitch. A
strangers.
swing and a miss.
I suppose a lot of families are.
Friedman steps out, collects himself.
When a stranger enters, sometimes the diner quiets just a bit. A few of the regulars may give the stranger a wary glance. This is their territory, and they get a little possessive of it. If there is just one piece of apple pie left, a regular wants to get it. They feel entitled to it. They appreciate Dusty's cooking and his cosy diner. Like I said, it's a home away from home. That's why, when Dusty was in the hospital, things felt different at the Oasis. It was like Dad was gone. More about Dusty later. Let me tell you about a few of the customers. One is Elizabeth. She once told me an amazing story about when she was in Antarctica. Who goes to Antarctica? So I had to listen.
I was in Antarctica on a research expedition. It was tough, cold and windy, as you can imagine. We were so far from home. It was like being on another planet. I felt like I might go mad. We ate this mush of fish and bread and rice. Sometimes we ate seals. In my tent, I'd write up the day's research. Then, as I slept, I'd dream of being back here at the diner. Cozy, warm, the music playing, the hot apple pie, fragrant and steaming. The Oasis became an oasis in my imagination. A vision of home. Getting back here became my goal. Dreaming of it kept me going. I made it home. And back here,
It made me happy that the oasis meant so much to her, maybe even saved her life. We were out of seal, so I gave her an extra slice of pie, on the house. Another regular is Father Mackenzie, a dear old man. Over time, his faithful flock left and took his faith with them. He still writes words to sermons no one will hear. He's lost. He's sad. I don't think even apple pie will make it better. The oasis is his church now. Our customers, his congregation. Pie the communion wafer and coffee the wine. Every once in a while, Father Mackenzie stands and speaks to whomever is here. A brief sermon. I guess old habits die hard.
Friends, listen to my words. Hear me tonight. I have come in from the darkness, from the cold. But we cannot escape the darkness and cold of our spirits. We must find a path to the light. That path is within us. Remember what is written in the Proverbs 3:27. Do not withhold from those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. So when we see someone who is in need, who is troubled, who is due kindness for their kindness, we must help them as our abilities permit. For when we give, we also receive.
It's a noble message. But I can't imagine the regulars ever actually coming together to help someone. Though they share time at the diner, they're still mostly strangers. Close together, they keep their distance. One of my favourite regulars at the Oasis is the Fat Man. That's not his real name. It's Thornton. Maybe you've heard of him. One slow night, he told me his story.
I run a big company that manufactures mattresses, the good kind. There's lots of money in mattresses. I'm quite wealthy. I have my own building. I have a daughter who is shallow and spoiled and only cares about collecting diamonds. She knows the price of everything but the value of nothing. She doesn't know that sometimes the most priceless things in life are cheap or even free. It took me years to learn that. Maybe she'll understand someday. I come here because the food is good and I can be anonymous. Not Thornton, founder and CEO of Thornton Superior Mattresses. No need for sheep to get to sleep. That's our motto. Here I can be alone and think. Maybe find some good my money can do. Good for someone other than me and my daughter. How about another slice of pie?
I suggested the diner could use some money. He didn't say anything. Oh well, I tried. I guess his second piece of apple pie is his contribution to the bottom line. There was a group of scientists who were regulars for a while. One of them told me why.
We'll be sending people to colonise Mars someday. It's a long way. It will take almost a year to get there. Imagine a year in a spaceship. No night and day, no trees with chirping birds, no wind or rain, flowers or fish. Just a metal ship with a view of empty space. Stars, the blinding sun. We're worried about the toll the confinement and isolation will take on the astronauts. They'll be far from the familiar sights, sounds and smells of home. How can we keep them connected? We did studies. Everybody has different lives, so we looked for something that was shared. And it turns out that one thing a lot of people share is memories of a diner. It's kind of universal. We're hoping to create images and sounds of a diner like this one, and when the crew is asleep, inject those images and sounds into their dreams. It will give them a taste of home, comfortable memories, something familiar in their alien world. We hope that months out, halfway to Mars, a dream of a steaming cup of fresh brewed coffee and hot apple pie will soothe their souls and keep them from going mad.
Second pitch. Strike on the corner. Friedman's their best hitter, and he needs a hit now.
I watched them take
Takes
photos
the
of the
ball.
diner,
Ford takes a
record
deep
the
breath.
sounds,
Friedman
and
slowly
measure the
cocks his
pie.
bat. Ready. The pitcher
The
looks in,
Oasis would
gets the
boldly
sign.
go where no
Here's
diner had
wind
gone
up
before,
and the pitch. Friedman
even
gets
if only in the
ball.
dreams
It's
of
going,
astronauts.
Going, goal! What a blast! Deep into the bleachers.
Back here on Earth, there's Lisa. Sweet kid. Comes here a lot. She's written a song about the diner, dreams of singing it in a club, maybe on the stage someday.
In the heart of the night, the diner is bright. Strangers come by for hot apple pie. Maybe they'll talk, maybe they won't. Alone and together in the diner forever. Here you are, whoever is you. A table for one, a dinner for two. The regulars look to see who is new, to see what they eat, to watch what they do. Here in the diner, coffee with cream, eggs over easy. Life is a dream. The diner is home. Come in for a bite, alone or together, in the heart of the night. In the heart of the night. Over easy. Life is a dream. The diner is home. Come in for a bite, alone or together, in the heart of the night. In the heart of the night.
I hope her dream comes true, and she can sing her diner song on a stage someday. I realise that for Lisa, the diner means more than coffee and pie. Funny how the Oasis seems to mean so much to so many of the regulars. I think we feed more than their bellies.
Struck out last at bat. Here comes Ford's first pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike one.
So we have strangers and regulars, and almost regulars who are almost strangers. They all come to the Oasis from their different lives, with their different dreams and worries, with their histories and their secrets. They give the diner character. And characters. Day after day, night after night, the diner is here for them. Has been for years. Everyone just assumed it would be here for years to come. Which brings us back to that letter Dusty got. The one that put him in the hospital with a broken heart. It was from the landlord. Seems that Dusty was a little behind on the rent. Maybe more than a little. Taking care of his sister had drained a lot of his money. He was in danger of losing the lease on the Oasis. It might close. It was a crisis. Flo was devastated. She thought she might lose Dusty and the diner, her whole life. Dusty was usually in the kitchen or behind the counter, so the regulars noticed he was missing. They started to ask me what was up. I didn't know much, so I didn't say much. But they sensed there was trouble. Somehow, they learned that after 40 years, the Oasis might close its doors for good. No more burgers or shakes or eggs. No more hot apple pie. A cloud came over the Oasis. There was a feeling of sadness and dread. It was quiet. The night seemed longer, the shadows darker. One night, while Dusty was still in the hospital, a jar appeared on the counter. A big, empty jar. I was off a few nights. When I got back, the jar was filled with cash. So they got a bigger jar. Turns out the regulars had decided to help. They wanted the diner to survive. They needed it. They liked Dusty, and they loved his hot apple pie. I'd been wrong about the regulars. They did come together after all. I had a hunch that Thornton had given a lot, that he'd found somewhere to put his money. He'd recognised something of value, someplace priceless. Maybe they'd listened to Father Mackenzie's sermons. Maybe he'd inspired them with his message of helping others. That jar of cash, that big, beautiful jar of cash, sat there on the counter, like a promise. Finally, Dusty came back. We were all happy to see him. When he saw the jar full of cash, he stared at it a long time. I saw tears in his eyes. Nobody said a word to him about it, and he didn't ask. He knew. We gathered around, our little family of the diner. Maybe the motives of the regulars weren't entirely pure. After all, there was apple pie involved. But I think there was more. The diner is part of their dreams, and you don't want to take away people's dreams. Sometimes that's all they have. The regulars gave enough money that Dusty could make all the past due payments. He even had enough to buy a shiny new milkshake mixer. Praise the Lord! The crisis had passed. The Oasis wouldn't dry up and vanish like a desert mirage. I looked out at our little gang of regulars with a new fondness, even love. I had come to realise that for Elizabeth freezing in Antarctica and the scientists dreaming of Mars, for Thornton, for Father Mackenzie, for all of them, the Oasis is more than a place to have a burger and a cup of coffee. The diner isn't about the food, not really. What the Oasis offers is a different kind of sustenance. As a refuge, as a comfy place to be alone with others, as a place all are welcome, without reservations. It offers nourishment for the soul. That's really what's on the menu. It's our daily special, every day. Tomorrow, some of the regulars will be back. And some strangers too. They'll be here for an hour or two, dreaming their dreams, mulling over their regrets, confessing their sins and whispering their hopes to a cup of joe. We'll cook 'em burgers and fries, eggs and toast. The radio will play. There will be laughter and silence, the soft murmur of the congregation of familiar strangers. We may even hear a sermon. It'll all be here at the Oasis. Stop in. Join us. I'm Minerva. I work the night shift. 10 to 6 a.m. I recommend Dusty's hot apple pie. Some say it's the best in town.
The grill is hot and the food is cooking. That hot apple pie is sure good looking. The diner is cozy and you can stay all night. Eat a whole dinner or just a bite. Who are you? Where are you? Why are you here? Your dreams are my dreams, I hold them dear. Drown your sorrows in a hot cup of joe. Stay a while, eat a while, no rush to go.
Dusty, I need another piece of apple pie.